Hello, this is Mr. Huff, and this is a video that will walk through a basic electrical plan for a residential design. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in lines for our electrical drawings. We're going to use a solid line and a dashed line. We're going to load families for outlets and switches. We're going to duplicate the floor plan so we can do an electrical plan. We're going to set the floor plan into a halftone so the electrical plan is easier to see. We'll place our plugs and switches. Then we're going to draw our lamps and wiring. So in this residential plan, we're going to focus on only these 5 things. We want to focus on switches. We want to put in outlets, lamps, GFCI, and 220 volt outlets. So let's get started. The first thing we want to do is add in our lines. So we're going to go to Manage, and we're looking for the one that says Additional Settings, and then we're going to choose Line Styles. And what we're going to do is create it's already online, so we're going to create a new, and we're going to give it a name. The REVIT lines start with a less than sign. We're just going to type in things that make it easy for us to see. So I'm going to put electric solid. It's black and it's solid. So now we're going to do a new line. I'm going to call it electric dashed. Click OK. And right here where it says solid, choose that drop down. And we're looking for the 1/16 of an inch dash. Apply, and now we have our lines. So if you look through the list of lines, we'll see at the end that we have electric dashed and electric solid. Click OK. Next thing we need to do is insert our families for our switches. So we're going to go to Insert, Load Family, and let me arrange this a little bit so it's easier to see. So you should start at English Imperial, and then we're going to find the folder Electrical, Architectural, Electrical Power, and Terminals. Let me click on this drop down so you can see we went to English Imperial, Electrical, Architectural, Electrical Power, Terminals. Okay. You don't need all of these. You could load all of them. That would be easy. But for the house, we need hold down the Control key. We need the outlet duplex, GFI. We'll use the range for our 220 volts. It's got the 3 lines. It's going to have an R by it. For our purposes, this is fine. If there's any of these that you want to use additionally, that's fine. These are what you need to do the basic plan. We need a single switch and a 3-way switch. I'm not going to do a double switch. I'm just going to do single and 3-way. Okay, so those are the 5 electrical components I want for modeling my residential plan. Click on Open. So we've added our family. Now, I have a floor plan. I don't want to do my electrical plan on top of this one. So we're going to right click on this. Oh, it's off the frame, hang on. Right click on the floor plan. Choose Duplicate View. And you want to choose the very first one, Duplicate. Don't choose Detailing and don't choose Dependent, only Duplicate. And then we're going to rename it. Instead of Copy 1, this is going to be Electrical. Alright. So now we have ground floor and we have electrical. Okay, some of the things you can do if you have like a really busy floor pattern and things like that, you can hide those things. I would suggest hiding everything except for your walls and your electrical appliances. So things like the beds and that sort of thing, you don't need to have those in the view. You don't need to see the floor either. So, okay, when you get this the way you want, you're going to select everything, left click at the bottom and drag up to the top right, and then right click and choose Graphics Override. My element is everything you have selected. It's going to pop up this menu. We're going to click on Halftone and click Apply. And OK. And what you see is, if you look at the ground floor, it's dark, and the ground floor electrical, now that is in a halftone. Alright, now we're ready to start doing some of our floor plan or electrical plan modeling. So we're going to go to Architectural and choose Component. And if you click on this, you should see that you have switches and outlets now. So you could type the word outlet. As this list gets longer, you can use this search tool. So we're going to choose a duplex outlet, and it's going to connect to the wall. Let's zoom in on that. Okay, one of the things in this assignment, you're going to have to pay attention to how to space these appropriately. So you just go around everywhere you want one. If you will, the other things we need to add, we'll need to, I'm just going to throw a few random ones out here. This is by no plan at all. If you need a 220 volt, we're going to use the range outlet for that. The regular, just plain 220 is not in there, so every way you want a range outlet or 220 volts, you use that outlet. GFI, anywhere you're going to have an outlet close to water, so kitchens, bathrooms, exteriors, it needs to be a GFI. Okay, so that's placing your plugs. Let's do some switches. So a single switch, let's say that right here we have oops, I didn't get the switch. Single switch, let's say we want to switch right here to turn on a light in the middle of this room, and we want a we want to switch here to turn on a accent light, and then we also want a three-way switch which lets us turn it on from two different places. So we can have one here and one here. What a three-way switch lets us do is we can turn it on from two different places. So, alright, so we've got a few switches put out there, we've got some plugs put out there. None of this is correct, it's just an example. Next thing we're going to do is go to Annotate, and we're going to do some detail lines, and we're going to actually draw in our lamps and our wiring. Revit does have a whole section about mechanical, electrical, and plumbing that is outside of the scope of what we want to do at this time, and we probably won't get deep into that at all this year. So we're going to use just drawings to accomplish what we need. So the first thing we need to do is make an example, a symbol that means light. So we're just going to use a circle. And I'm going to zoom in pretty close because I want to make a small circle. So we're going to do a 6-inch circle. Okay, and that line style, I should have set that before, Control Z. We're going to use the line style that we created called electric solid. Okay, so now 6 to 8 inch circle. Okay, now we have that, we can select it and Control C to copy and Control V to paste. So I'm going to have some a light here. We're going to have an accent light here on this wall, and that's all the lights I want. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is go to Annotate. We're going to go to Detail Line again, and we're going to choose Electrical Dashed. And now we need to draw in our wiring, so we're going to use the Spline tool, because we don't want to draw just straight lines, because that will get confused with other lines in the drawing. So we're going to make sure every time we connect to a lamp that that line is curved. So we choose the Spline tool, we've selected the style Electric Dashed, and now we're going to click on the end of the switch. I'm going to go away from the lamp and then to the lamp. Click on it, then press Escape. And we need to do that again here for our three-way switch. Here, away from the lamp, and then to the lamp. And what that does is makes that line curved. For this one, this is for our accent light. Away from the lamp, toward the lamp, and to the lamp. So as long as you get some curve in there, you're good. And again, click on the switch, away from the lamp, toward the lamp. Escape. Alright, so that is a basic electrical plan. We have got everything we said we needed. We have some switches, we have some outlets, we have some lamps, we have some GFCI outlets, and we have some 220s. One more thing. So I'm going to hit escape a couple of times to get out of annotate. If you go to your ground floor, you'll notice that all the electrical symbols are now in there. So we're going to right click on one of those, hide in view by category, and that will hide all of those on your ground floor, but they remain visible in your floor plan for your electrical. So your ground floor should look like this, your electrical plan should look like this. Alright, that's it.